Hey everybody, I'm here with Sean, and he came to the Philippines with his wife Marcia. They've retired, they bought some property here, they're going to build a house. But what Sean did, you know how everybody says, don't bring the West with you. Sean did, he brought everything. Welcome to the channel. So, you're making the permanent move here to the Philippines.
Yes.
And you decided just to pack up everything and bring it.
Pretty much. We've visited the Philippines several times before we came here. We'd already started the process of buying land before we came. And we took a look around and looked at what the prices and quality of household goods were. And decided it was cheaper in the long run to go ahead and get a reputable shipping company to come in and pack us out and ship our stuff to the Philippines than it would be to buy a whole new household worth of goods when we got here.
So you're going to build a house here. How big is the house going to be?
242 square meters, which is roughly 2,400 square feet.
24. And you brought enough furniture to furnish this place?
All but 2 bedrooms.
All but 2 bedrooms. And you're from where in the States?
Paulsbo, Washington.
From Washington, so you're right on the coast. So to pack everything up, what was the process like? What was the first thing you did when you decided you're going to bring everything?
We looked at leaving, because we started a few years out before we ever got here. I started looking for different shipping companies. So I not only went to their websites, but I also went to the Better Business Bureau to look them up to see, okay, how many complaints have that company had? What were the complaints? Because you're always going to have somebody who complains about something silly, but yes, you can discount those. But if they're seriously got problems with stealing, or if they seriously got problems with breaking, that's not the company you want. So I researched the company, found the company, made contact with them. We did a video conference with them so we could show them the house, so they could estimate how much stuff we had and how big the containers were and what they cost to do the shipment. And from basically from Seattle it goes to LA, went to LA, from LA to Cebu, and then from Cebu to where we're at now here in Dallin.
So from your house, they came and they packed everything up for you? They wrapped it?
They brought in some U-Haul, a subcontractor who worked for the main company, came in with U-Haul trailers. They packed everything up, wrapped everything up, marked everything. Oh, I think you can see some of the markings on them.
Yeah, it says like glass.
And they labeled what they were so that we'd have a detailed inventory. Definitely, if you do not want to be held up in your port of in the States, like LA, where they ship things out, you want a detailed list of what's in the container. Because if you don't have a good detailed list, you're going to get inspected. There's 2 weeks.
Bill of lading, or what do they call that?
Well, basically, it shows a list of everything that's in the container. So it listed every single box and what was in the box. Not quite itemized, but it gives a general, okay, this box is number 42 and it's full of glassware. Okay. Because they're going to x-ray the container anyhow, so they're looking for anything they're normally supposed to be looking for during their inspections. But don't bring any kind of cleaning chemicals and stuff.
No liquid chemicals?
No liquid chemicals and stuff, because that will hold up your container. Don't bring any type of firearms or explosives. That will definitely hold up your container. So you're looking at it, they'll take everything out of the container and they'll go through every single box at your port of deporting from the States. And you will also run into the same problem when you get here, because they're given the same bill of lading or inventory list, and they're going to go, oh, he has these chemicals, or he has ammo, which you're not supposed to bring, or guns, you're not supposed to bring. So they will go through everything in there looking for it.
So no chemicals, no weapons.
Nope.
Was there other things on this? Was there a detailed list of what you cannot bring?
If you go to the Filipino websites for coming into the country, it will list things you cannot bring. You cannot bring firearms, of course. Hazardous chemicals, which most cleaning stuff still falls in that same category for some reason. You can't bring chainsaws and stuff unless you get an import permit first. That is one of the things you really want to look at, is the things you cannot bring and the things you can bring, provided you get the import licenses first.
Now you brought, that I saw, you have a lawnmower?
I brought lawnmowers, weed eaters, trimmers,
chainsaws.
Chainsaws. I have 2 chainsaws.
So that the chainsaws, that was one of the items where you had to do special permit for?
Yes, they're the only item I had to get a special permit for.
Was that a hard thing to fill out, the permit, or just pretty simple?
No, it's pretty simple. We went to DNR, went to their website, pulled up the form, filled it out, submitted the I think it was 150 pesos. It's not much.
They don't charge much.
They don't charge much, no. And that will get you the import license. Once you get here, you have to go to DNR so they can actually put stickers on them.
So what is DNR?
It's basically Department of Resource and Land.
Okay. So they monitor what's coming.
They monitor who's bringing in chainsaws and stuff, because obviously they don't want people coming here and cutting down all the trees. And they go over, your rights and responsibilities, how often you have to bring it back, which is yearly, to register it.
Did you find, you're married to a Filipina?
Yes.
And she's a Filipino citizen?
Yes.
Did you find that being easier than if you came here as a single guy, bringing these items? I mean, look, did they allow certain items because she's a Filipino, or
no?
It's the same for everybody?
It's the same for everybody.
Okay.
The only difference is because I'm married to a Filipina, I get a 1-year visa on my
you get
to come in on my passport
versus
the 30-day.
Right. Okay.
So that might be something they want to take a look at, is getting their whole process started for immigration if they plan on coming here, if they plan on bringing all their stuff as a single person.
Yeah. So how far in advance would you be planning the move of all your?
We started 2 years out.
2 years out. And during that 2 years period, you came over here and purchased some land.
Yes. We came over last August and looked for land and found a piece of land here, and the wife came back in December and bought the land. So that we'd already have it ready before we even came here, and that would be done and paid off.
So
one less thing to worry
before
about.
you made the permanent move here,
yes,
you had the land purchased.
Yep.
You already planned on how you're going to bring all your stuff.
Yep.
There's one other thing that you...
And we already had it. We went ahead and found the rental, which we're living in.
And you had the rental.
So that we'd have some place to tell them to ship our container to.
So you're in Darwin.
Yes.
Right now. So when the items came, they left the U.S. They arrived. They arrived in
Cebu.
Cebu. Did you have to be there when they opened the container?
Well, ours got inspected because whatever reason, it just got inspected. And no, you don't have to be there for the inspection. We had to be there simply because we had to pay the taxes.
And you could have done that online or somehow?
You can, but since we were already coming,
you're already here.
We were already here, so we just went over to Cebu and saw the container and paid the taxes on it and
get it done.
And they brought our container over the very next day.
So they brought it from Cebu to Dumaguete.
Yes.
Over here.
Well, I brought it all the way to the street in front of the house here and unpacked it.
Right to your house. And
they unpacked it for it. Yep.
And this is all part of the one single company that you purchased? So they gave you door-to-door service.
Yes.
With your items. So you were able personally to watch it all get loaded and unloaded. So you're set.
And I had my checklist there so I could mark off each box as they offloaded it, so I made sure everything. And if anything was broken, they took pictures, I took pictures, so we could do the
So this is a
insurance.
to do it correctly, this is hands-on.
Yes.
You have to be involved. You wouldn't recommend just hire somebody and go away and hopefully it gets done correctly.
You get paid for what you get what you pay for. If you pay for somebody who's just going to be your hands off, you may end up with a lot of things missing or broken. If you're a hands-on type person, you want to be part of the process the whole way through, 90% of the companies out there, that's a green flag. Go ahead. If they're saying no, you can't be part of it, that'd be a red flag to me. I don't want to deal with you because I want to make sure my stuff gets from my house into the container, because I see the container being sealed and locked. And next time it's going to be unlocked will be either the inspectors or when it's delivered.
How big was this container?
It's a 20 by 40.
20 by 40.
The largest they could get.
Somebody told me that they couldn't get a 40-foot to come to Dumaguete.
We had no problem.
You had no
because
problem.
It doesn't come to Dumaguete, it comes to Cebu.
And then
Cebu puts it on a truck, and the truck comes across on the ferry and drives it right here. But yes, normally if you're trying to get it straight to Dumaguete, it's going to be more difficult.
In the container itself, yeah. Now, there's two things that you didn't bring. You didn't bring your mattresses.
No.
Now, that's just because it's space.
One was for space, because when we did the estimate, they estimated about 2,300 square meters, and the container only holds 2,000 square meters, of the, cubic meters of furniture and stuff. So we said, you know what, our mattresses are old. I want to get new ones anyhow, so we're not going to bring them.
So you eliminate that.
Yep.
But something you did bring, and a little bit off the subject, you brought your dog.
Yes, I did.
How big of a process was that to bring a dog over here?
Let's hope you have patience.
I have a lot of patience. I'm married to a Filipino.
We used a company called Across the Pond. They're very cheap, because you'll hear stories out there, people paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to bring their animals.
Yes, I've heard that.
I went to Across the Pond. They sent me the list of things. They contacted my vet to let my vet have the proper forms. The vet went through and did all his thing and sent it to them. They sent me directly to the web, not just gave me the website, they sent me directly to the website, directly to the form I needed to fill out to get my import permits here in the Philippines for the dog, because I sent them all the information they needed. So I already had all that done, so it cost me $250 for Across the Pond, and of course the plane ticket. That's the other half, because you have to deal with the airline to set up a reservation for your pets.
Now, $250, that's the company you used?
Yep, and $400 for the
Across the
airline.
pond.
Across the pond.
Okay. Now you got to the airlines, $400 for a ticket?
Yep.
Was there any special requirements, like in the carry container?
Each airline will have on their website, which they'll direct you to, the requirements for the crates. So, and each airline only holds so many crates. I think 6 or 7 is the most they normally take animals on any particular flight.
And the breed of your dog is?
He's a Maltese and Silky Terrier mix.
So he's a nice small dog. Now a lot of people say, don't bring dogs to the Philippines, don't bring pets, because there's so many strays. You know, you see them in the streets here.
Yeah.
But that's your family pet. He's part of the family. And he's going to be well taken care of. It's not like you're bringing a dog here and just say go run around.
No.
He's a house dog. So if you're going to bring a pet, make sure it's a pet that you're going to take good care of. Not just, it's too expensive just to bring one here.
Not only do you have to get import permits and flight permits, which you can do at the airport, thank God, he has to be microchipped. So if you turn him loose, they're going to find the microchip. They're going to know exactly whose dog he belongs to.
You had to get the microchip on there.
Every dog, every pet coming in has to have a microchip.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So just dumping the animal after you get here
doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Because they'll take him to the nearest vet where his microchip will be checked. It'll go back to animal control, who will check, say who's this dog belong to, and next thing you know, they'll be banging on your door.
And I can't see anybody spending the money to bring a pet over here and not want that pet to be part of their family.
Exactly.
It's a big process. Now, of the stuff you brought that you've opened so far, because you have many boxes. He's got room after room. I think you rented this house based on the size that could hold all your furniture.
Yes.
Because it's like
it's a 3-bedroom.
3-bedroom. It's a big house. This house, it's bigger than my house. It's huge. And there's boxes and...
Well, we took a look, like I said, when we were back here doing our research. You don't see, like in the States, you don't see like over in Canada or Europe, there's no self-storage places here.
No. Not
and
good
there's
ones.
no place to really store the container, because the container doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the shipping company, unless you buy it.
Yeah.
So we were looking for a big enough house that we could use some of the spare space
for storage.
Just for storage.
Yeah, well, you got everything to fit. You brought copy machine, you brought freezer.
I brought everything.
Everything.
The big thing you're going to run it, I brought all my gardening tools, all my yard tools, all my hand tools. I brought everything because the quality of materials you're going to run into here in the Philippines, they're not as good as what you'll find in the States. Unless you're willing to go to some place like Manila or Cebu and pay an outrageous price to get those.
Pay the extra for having Western items.
Having Western items shipped over.
Yeah.
And those take forever to get. So,
now the shipping, how much did it all cost you to ship your household belongings here?
Something to take into mind is the quote the company's going to give you does not include shipping insurance.
Ah.
So the initial quote was $22,000. After you put on the shipping insurance, because you're going to estimate how much you think your stuff's worth. They aren't. You are. And that will dictate how much insurance you're going to pay. So it ended up paying $29,000 to get my entire container here.
$7,000 in insurance and $22,000 in the shipping itself.
Yes.
So just under $30,000. And you shipped, how big, how many rooms was that? Did you have?
Office, living room, kitchen, master bedroom, and the garage, because I didn't ship two bedrooms worth of stuff.
So the cost, is it based on?
It's the size of the container.
The size of the container that you use. So if you can fit everything in a 20 by 20, it's going to be a lot less than the 20 by 40. Okay. So is it something you would do again?
Oh, yeah.
After doing all this? So for you, it was worth the money, it was worth the effort.
Like I said, it really, people really need to come here and visit and do their research. We brought our washer and dryer. Why? Because washers and dryer here are much smaller and a lot less reliable.
They are. They are. I can tell you about that in Cebu.
So we brought a washer and dryer with us just because of that. Same reason I'm building the house and having it wired for 220 and for 110, so that I can use all of my American stuff, at least until it breaks, and then I have to replace it with something.
The unique thing he's going to do in his house. He's going to have 2 receptacles everywhere, right?
Yes.
And one's going to be horizontal, and one's going to be vertical. One's going to be the 110. Hopefully.
According to my contractor, one will be circular and one will be square. I'm still going to label them so that we don't.
I thought, label them or paint each cover.
I'm going to get different colored covers so that everybody understands. Here's the 110. Here's the 220.
And then as you things break and you don't have them anymore.
When I don't have anything that's 110 anymore, then I go out to the circuit breaker and turn off the 110 panel. I don't need it anymore.
And then your family, when they come to visit you,
I can turn it back on.
Turn it back on. They don't have to worry about it. Well, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So you made the move here. You know, your dog made it with you. Your wife got here okay too?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's here safe and sound. Mars, she did an interview with Janet, a few questions. It was Janet's first interview. We'll play that on Janet's channel, Philippine Life with Janet, and you can check that out. If you're moving here, you had a 2-year process to get here. The property, and you're going to build, if you're going to move all this stuff here, you're going to build a house. You know, people aren't just bringing this over to rent an apartment. Getting the property first.
Yes.
That is the big deal, isn't it?
Make sure your Filipino spouse already has their dual citizenship.
Dual, already locked up.
Because if you don't have your dual citizenship, you can't buy anything more than a condo.
Ah, I thought if they were just born here. No, they got to get their citizenship.
You have to get their citizenship back.
Okay.
Because they lose their citizenship when they take on another citizenship.
Okay.
But it's not too hard. You take the proper paperwork. You go to the closest Filipino embassy that controls your area. You turn it in, you pay your amount, and they give you a date to come back to do your swear-in.
So you guys were down here, you negotiated the price. We're not going to get into the price. It's about 5,000 square meters.
5,833.
Almost 6,000 square meters. And you got the title all clean and clear now. You got your permits.
Yes.
And
we're working on our final permit now, the zoning.
So I know they're excited. You're about 2 weeks out from starting.
Yes.
And he's going to be building a beautiful house here in the Philippines, and Janet's going to be in charge of filming some of that. If they let us on their property after this video,
come on by.
We might not be friends after this video. Now, Sean and Mars, they're great people. They're the kind of people the Philippine wants to come here and live. And you have a great attitude for living in the Philippines.
Most things I tell people is don't come here with preconceptions, and don't come here and bring your Western attitudes. The people here are very friendly until you start throwing a Western attitude at them, and then they become very unfriendly.
So leave the attitude at home.
Leave the attitude at home. Be open to change.
Yeah.
And understand that things to work here on their own pace. It's called Filipino time.
Filipino.
Which means they'll get to it when they get to it. Be patient. Things don't run as fast here as they do in the States, where you could walk into the licensing place and get your license in an hour and walk out. No. It may be a while to work your way through the whole process to get it. Same thing with buying land. Get a lawyer, make sure the title is clean, make sure nobody's pawned it that you don't know of, or the other relatives, if there's more than one owner, doesn't know of. But yeah, coming here and doing a little investigation first will definitely pay off.
Now you, prior to building now, you've watched Greg and Wilma, you've met Greg and Wilma.
I've met Greg and Wilma.
And, you know, got some advice from them.
Yep.
You also, YouTube videos, you know, and other type of, not just YouTube, but you've done a lot of research into this before you're even...
Before I even came here.
Even before you came here, before you put any shovel in the ground and dig. Okay, great. So we're going to wish him the best of luck. Remember, don't bring your Western values with you, but bring all your Western furniture. Bring it all with you. Sean, thanks for being on the channel.
Problem.
He'll be back when they're building the house. We'll stop in from time to time to see how it's going. Thanks, guys. Until next time. You're so bad at doing your job, hon.
Is it on?
Not now.
Not now. Turned it off.